Push it in just a little. This way. That's good. Yeah. Well, good morning, everybody. Blue Dooley. And since we got the hat cam out and we're at work, must be time for a truss hauling video. Juan just set the floors up on top of the load for me. The floors go with the roof trusses. Got a bit more overhang than I normally run, as we're going up to Featherville today, so it should be a really beautiful drive. But I kind of know where I'm going, and that's a real twisty road getting up there. So I wanted to leave the trailer as short as possible. Got about 8 foot of overhang off the back. And we got a lot of trusses today. We got 15 floors and 100 or more, well, actually almost 200 trusses. Because we got to get those 2 pallets in that stack of jacks on. Yeah. That'll work, one. Oop. I pulled a little too far forward on him. Alright, so I'm gonna get some more runners and then we'll come back when we go to... I do finally got my toolbox, which is the right height for me, not the right height for anybody else. So the thing that makes these such a pain in the butt is they're so narrow, you can only get about 1 strap over them, and the trailers aren't really meant for pallets. See, like that one's sticking out stupid. I can't even tighten down on that or I'll break it. Probably hit the little truck with my straps. Aw. Well, at least it didn't unroll all the way. There would be just a big ass plate right there. Yeah, I don't want to get the strap on that plate or it'll cut it. And of course they left that one sticking out. Got my extended mirror on. Threw a ratchet strap over both of those, just so I at least got a little more holding them in place. Sounds like we've got a lumber truck pulling in the yard. Yes, sir, we do. Got the hangers in the truck, so get the flags on and we'll be ready to hit the road. Question is, can I reach that? There's a trick for you if you're short or too lazy to go get the ladder. Got my blinky lights on. Get the light bar on the truck turned on when we pull out of here. And I try to hang my flags here on the back up high enough so you can at least still see the taillights. We got 3 straps on the floors, and I actually managed to feed this one in the middle down through, so it's actually pulling down on those floors better than if I'd gone around the peaks. Those at least leaned in enough, they're touching now. Got the GoPro set up, so we'll get some time lapse of the drive up there, but I'm gonna let you go for now. This was filmed Tuesday the 30th of May, after Memorial Day weekend. And it had actually been scheduled to go up Friday. My boss and I weren't exactly thrilled with the idea of trying to take almost a 12-foot wide load up to that area of the state where there'd be a bunch of people trying to get their RVs up there to camp over Memorial Day weekend. So we called a contractor and we moved a few things around. And I was able to take it up Tuesday and avoid a ton of RV traffic, which it's kind of one of those things where, since the Mack has actual engine brakes, I can go down the grades faster than most people can comfortably go down them in pickup trucks because I have better engine braking. Now the newer trucks, you might be able to go a little quicker, but usually when I'm up narrow canyon roads like that and have an oversized load sign on the back of the truck, people just assume I'm not going to maintain speed and just about have to pass me even when they don't have a chance of getting around me. So save myself a lot of headaches. We decided to run it up Tuesday, and the weather was just an absolutely beautiful day. I'm going to comment on that a couple of times in the video probably. And I'm going to mention in this part that there is some time lapse missing, just so you don't know how to get exactly to the customer's house where they're building it. The time lapse actually cut what was probably a 2-hour, 20-minute drive down to 12 minutes. And I cut some out for this single lane bridge here in Gooding. And then I cut out a little bit from where I stopped after I turned off Highway 20 to tighten the straps down. You'll see that here in a little bit. But we're going to just roll with the time lapse and
then tighten some straps. Then we'll do a little hat cam footage going down part of the grade, which I need to make some adjustments for the next time I do my hat cam when I'm driving the truck, which I'll explain later.
We're stopping here where there's some place to pull off so we can tighten all our straps, make sure nothing's shifted before we get down the road a little bit. We just turned off Highway 20 between Fairfield and Mountain Home. So far, pretty good trip. But the road up to Pine from here on out and into Featherville, pretty narrow. And not a lot of places to pull out when you're this big. Come on. So, just checking the load. That's still sitting pretty good. That one came a little loose. That's why you stop and check your straps. Especially before you get on the really twisty stuff. Come on, there we go. I think when I got out of the truck it said it was 60, which is A-okay with me. Knew this would came pretty loose. Still some snow up in the mountains, but everything's turning green. And I got to keep the bar on this side of the truck because this thing's just too fat to fit between the load and the trailer deck. Check my mirror, make sure it's tight. Make sure my flag's still in place. My sign's a little wrinkly. But we'll get back in the truck and head up the road a little bit. We still got the time lapse going on the GoPro, so is actually the first really steep grade I've had with the truck. Well, steep and long. So we'll see how the Mack's Jake brakes work. And we'll probably Jake brake the whole way down, because it is a couple of miles down to the bottom and I don't want to ride my brakes. This is what engine brakes are for. You can see the Anderson Ranch reservoir off there. And I'll be honest with you, that's the fullest I've seen in quite a while. I mean, even this time last year, it was pretty low, so I know I can't be the only one who isn't thrilled to see reservoirs full. Phone ding, so it must be fully charged. Got my extended mirror just bouncing away out there. The automated manual works better if you put it in performance with the Jake brake, because then it'll actually downshift properly. Economy mode, it's good for flat, but you really need performance. So the Jakes will downshift correctly and actually hold you back. There's Pilot Car. No wonder what she was doing.
I'm going to jump back into time-lapse because I did not realize with the seat inflated to where I'm comfortable, you really can't see out the windshield with that cam. So, future note to self, I need to air out the seat so I'm sitting on floorboards so the camera can see out the window a little better when I do my filming. I also yacked way too much about the reservoir's water level, so I cut a bunch of that out. And I also am going to point out in this part of the time-lapse, some of the time-lapse is missing, just so you don't know how to get exactly to the customer's house, you know, for privacy's sake. But I didn't cut out a ton, just a few important turns that if you don't know where they are, you won't find it. So we're just going to cruise pretty much the rest of the way into the job site with the time-lapse going. And as I mentioned a little bit later in the clip here, the contractor is also a first responder up in the area, volunteer. So I didn't mess around filming unloading because he's on call. So I just kind of wanted to hurry, get him where he wanted him, get him his paperwork and the hardware. That way he could get going in case he did get a call. So that's a little explanation as to why it looks like there's parts missing, because there are.
Didn't get a chance to unfilm unloading it. The contractor was in a bit of a hurry because he's also on call EMT up here in Featherville Pine area. So we kind of had to hustle to get these unloaded. That way I could get them dropped where he wanted and get give him all the paperwork and stuff before he had to take off for a call. Yeah, we're a little ways north of Pine. Like I said, up here in Featherville. Absolutely beautiful day. A little bit of rain cloud maybe over there. I'm glad he showed up because this kind of mound right here is the septic tank. And we don't want to get on the septic tank. That's going to do it for this video. I'm going to take this last photo, jump in the truck, eat part of my lunch, and then get heading back to town so I can do the next one. As always, if you enjoy the content, go ahead and hit like. And if you want to see more of it, be sure to subscribe. You don't know when I'm going to post a pretty drive video or some dash cam footage or just some scenic photos.